and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for today. Nearly 200,000 people vaccinated in Oman. Health Minister reviews COVID situation in Dhofar. Plans to help clean up 40 million litres of wastewater generated during oil extraction. Majlis to discuss food and water security in April 25th meeting. All Indian adults to be eligible for COVID-19 vaccination from May 1st. Nearly half of London staff work from home amid COVID-19 pandemic, says ONS. UEFA says player or club participating in the Super League will be banned. In some IPL news, Moeen Jadeja spin web as CSK defeat RR by 45 runs. Those are the headlines for today. Now let's take a look at the weather update.
This is Maytha Chukeli with today's weather update, and right now I'm inside the TFM studio in Al Khair. Before we move on to weather, here is our fact for the day. The probability of precipitation number frequently used in weather forecasts is widely misunderstood by the public. That is our fact for the day. Now let's see how the weather will be like in the Sultanate. An alert has been issued by Oman Meteorology and Civil Aviation Authorities saying that there will be mainly clear skies in the Sultanate with clouds advection over Al-Wusta and chances of cloud formation over the coastal areas of Dhofar, and the adjacent mountains may give isolated rain. And there's chances of late night to early morning low-level clouds or fog patches over the parts of South Al-Sharqiyya and Al-Wusta. And now let's take a look at how the weather will be like in all the governorates. Muscat will be sunny, temperatures between 32 to 23 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny, temperatures between 30 to 25 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 32 to 23 degrees Celsius. South Al-Batana will be sunny, temperatures between 34 to 21 degrees Celsius. Al-Buraymi will be sunny, temperatures between 34 to 19 degrees Celsius. Al-Dhahira will be sunny, temperatures between 36 to 18 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhiliya will be sunny, temperatures between 38 to 21 degrees Celsius. North Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 38 to 19 degrees Celsius. South Al-Sharqiyya will be sunny, temperatures between 32 to 24 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be sunny, temperatures between 37 to 19 degrees Celsius. Dhofar will be sunny, temperatures between 36 to 24 degrees Celsius.
Welcome back to the Midday Update. Let's take a look at the local stories for today. Nearly 200,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been given to people across the country, according to figures released by the Ministry of Health. 198,563 people have so far been administered the vaccine. These include 37,185 healthcare workers. Muscat Governorate accounts for about 30% of people injected at 58,643 vaccinations. The lowest vaccination rate has taken place in Al-Wusta, where 1,295 people have been provided vaccines. The northern Musandam region has reported 13,987 inoculations. Nearly 50,000 people in the Batna region, 28,242 in the north and 18,768 in the south have also been vaccinated. In the Sharqiya governorates, vaccines have been administered to more than 22,000 people, 10,126 in the north and 12,556 in the south. In the southern Dhofar region, some 12,994 have been vaccinated against COVID-19. In Al-Dhahira, vaccines have been distributed to 12,951 people, and in Al-Dakhiliya, vaccine jabs stand at 23,179. In Al-Buraymi, inoculations were provided to 5,822 people. Speaking to the Times of Oman, an official from the Ministry of Health encouraged people in the country to ask their elderly relatives to take the vaccine so that they are protected from the virus and can contribute to stop its spread. A new helpline has also been launched in the capital to help people receive information on those services provided and vaccines available at the various inoculation centers in Muscat. Those interested can call the helpline on 1144. The Directorate General of Health Services in Muscat is pleased to announce the activation of the information service for vaccine centers in the governorate, said a statement from the Ministry of Health. The center is operational between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. on weekdays during Ramadan. Dr. Ahmed Mohammad Al Saidi, Minister of Health, said that His Majesty Sultan Haitham gave directives to study the extent to which the situation in Dhofar Governorate calls for the setting up of a field hospital amid the rate of propagation of coronavirus there. In a statement during his field visit to Sultan Qaboos Hospital, the minister said that His Majesty the Sultan is in close follow-up of the pandemic's developments in all parts of the Sultanate. After the specialized technical team studied the capacity of Sultan Qaboos Hospital here, it appears that there are enough beds to cover the number of COVID-19 patients, but the hospital now needs extra supply of equipment and more medical staff, said Dr. Ahmed. The minister commended the role of medical staff there, who, he said, exerted tremendous efforts to keep the situation under control. He urged all healthcare workers to stick to the precautionary measures and instructions issued by the Health Ministry, adding that the protection of the medical staff and their families is considered a matter of top priority. Asked about developments towards the setting up of a new hospital in Dhofar, the minister said that steps are underway to expedite the project despite a delay in finalizing designs due to coronavirus pandemic's impact on many companies undertaking the project. The minister pointed out that there are enough ventilation apparatuses and that there is no shortage in such equipment in Dhofar Governorate or any other governorates. He also reaffirmed that test solutions are in abundant quantities and that a single solution is distributed to all governorates, but priority is given to Dhofar Governorate due to the geographical distance. 40 million litres of wastewater that are brought to the surface during the extraction of crude oil in Oman will be cleaned by plants in a new treatment facility being set up in the country. The water will then be used to create areas where local flora and fauna can thrive. The project, which is being jointly run by Petroleum Development Oman and Suez, will also help offset the pollution caused during oil extraction by reducing the carbon footprint of the entire process. Under the Design, Build, Own, Operate and Maintain agreement, Suez will construct the facility that can purify the equivalent of 14 Olympic-sized swimming pools, which come from the Rima oil field some 700 kilometers south of the capital Muscat. This 20-year contract is worth 55 million Omani riyals in total revenues, said Cyril Korjarit, CEO of Suez. A series of basins will be built over a period of 2 years, seeded with different species of algae, he added. The produced water will circulate through these basins, where it will be purified through biodegradation by microalgae and bacteria. 40,000 cubic meters will be treated every day. The succession of varying wetland environments with different flow speeds and depths of water develop these different mechanisms for pollutant absorption and will naturally treat the produced water, he added. Once cleaned, the produced water will be disposed into ponds measuring 300 hectares each to naturally evaporate beneath the desert sun. Suez will be the majority partner in this project with a stake of 51%, and its local Omani partners Merit National Investments and Al Shawamik Oil Service will each have a 24.5% stake each. They will contribute towards constructing and operating the facility for 20 years. Depending on the quality of crude oil found in oil fields, a single barrel of oil yields between 5 and 10 barrels of oil that need treatment. Now that financing has been secured, local contractors will be hired to construct the ponds and lagoons. This will require around 8,000 cubic meters of earthworks, which need 200 pieces of heavy equipment working simultaneously to finish the job in its targeted 14 months. This project will enhance biodiversity in the desert and create a habitat for wildlife species, providing sustainable living conditions for flora and fauna. The Majlis Al-Shura will host on Sunday, April 25th, Dr. Saud bin Hamoud Al-Habsi, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources, to discuss the 10 pillars related to food and water security and review investment in farm field, said Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Nadabi, Secretary General of Majlis Al-Shura. He said that the first pillar would be related to food and water security and the contribution of both the agricultural and fisheries sectors in the economic diversification program, the investment plan to achieve food and water security, the efforts of the ministry in terms of research and its role in food safety. The second pillar would discuss the safety and quality of agricultural, animal and fisheries products and water resources. He said, adding the third pillar would focus on the key development projects in the agricultural, fisheries and water resources sectors in the 5-year plan. The fourth pillar would tackle the evaluation of the agricultural sector and the role of the ministry in encouragement of companies involved in import of insecticides and fertilizers to import green chemicals that do not affect the soil. The last 4 pillars of the statement of the ministry would discuss aspects related to water resources in the Sultanate, the ministry's plan for preservation and sustainability of water resources, development of fallages, dams and wells, and water research and studies, among other issues, he added. He said that during its 10th and 11th regular sessions, Majlis Al-Shura would discuss a proposal for amendment of the Pastures and Animal Resource Management Law, promulgated by the Royal Decree No. 8/2003, a proposal for the draft law for amendment of some provisions of the Advocacy Law, and a proposal for initiation of an article in the Traffic Law concerned with the eligibility of the owner of the vehicle for final cancellation of the vehicle or to temporarily suspend the vehicle driving license. The sessions would also discuss a request for discussion of initiation of a law system to regulate the cooperative associations, a request for discussion of delay in distribution of lands, a request to discuss the strategic road projects, a request for discussing COVID-19 vaccines, and a request for discussing the distribution of residential lands in Muscat Governorate, he added. He also pointed out that the Majlis would convene 3 consecutive regular sessions, which are the 9th, 10th and 11th sessions. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back.
It's about time we kicked COVID-19 out of our lives. Join us on TTV Outline every Monday and let us learn how to fight COVID together.
Welcome back now for the international stories. All people aged 18 years and above will be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine with effect from May 1st, India's federal government said on Monday. This would be the Phase 3 of India's COVID-19 vaccination drive. Phase 1 was launched on January 16th, prioritizing healthcare workers and frontline workers, while Phase 2 was initiated from March 1st, focusing on all people aged 45 years of age. The decision was taken at a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Modi said that the federal government had been working hard to ensure that maximum number of Indians are able to get the vaccine in the shortest possible time. With an increase of 273,810 new cases on Monday, India's COVID-19 tally has reached 15,061,919 according to data from the Health Ministry. London reported the highest proportion of home workers in Britain in 2020 as 43% work from home at some point in the past year, up from 31% in 2019, the British Office for National Statistics said on Monday. London and surrounding areas had the highest rates of working from home in 2020, with many areas in Scotland and Northern Ireland having the lowest, said the ONS. One of the reasons London had the highest rate of home working was because of the types of industries that predominate in London, it added. However, people who mainly work from home were less than half as likely to be promoted than all other workers between 2012 and 2017, and were around 38% less likely on average to have received a bonus compared with those who never worked from home between 2013 and 2020, said ONS. Rewards for home working were typically less for those who exclusively worked from home, being on average paid less likely to get a bonus, less likely to get promoted, and less likely to receive training, said ONS. Meanwhile, the unprecedented increase in home working in 2020, driven by the COVID-19 pandemic, has led many to consider the implications for this on productivity and other labour market-related outcomes. In England, all shops reopen from April 12th as lockdown eases, along with hairdressers, beauty salons and other close-contact services. To bring life back to normal, countries such as Britain, China, Russia, the United States, as well as the European Union have been racing against time to roll out the coronavirus vaccine. Let's take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the sports stories.
It's about time we kicked COVID-19 out of our lives. Join us on TTV Outline every Monday and let us learn how to fight COVID together.
Welcome back to the Midday Update, now for the sports stories. UEFA has said that any player and club who participates in the proposed Super League will be banned from UEFA and FIFA football tournaments. UEFA, the English Football Association and the Premier League, the Royal Spanish Football Federation and La Liga and the Italian Football Federation and Lega Serie A have learned that a few English, Spanish and Italian clubs may be planning to announce their creation of a closed so-called Super League, UEFA said in a statement on Sunday. If this were to happen, we wish to reiterate that we, UEFA, the English FA, RFEF, FIGC, the Premier League, La Liga, Liga Serie A, but also FIFA and all our member associations will remain united in our efforts to stop this cynical project, a project that is founded on the self-interest of a few clubs at a time when society needs solidarity more than ever. We will consider all measures available to us at all levels, both judicial and sporting, in order to prevent this from happening. Football is based on open competitions and sporting merit. It cannot be any other way. As previously announced by FIFA and the 6 confederations, the clubs concerned will be banned from playing in any other competition at domestic, European or world level, and their players could be denied the opportunity to represent their national teams, it added. This statement comes after it was reported that 12 clubs, including Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United and Tottenham, have agreed to join the proposed Super League. The Premier League clubs will join AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, Juventus and Real Madrid at the proposed tournament. The ESL said the founding clubs had agreed to establish a new midweek competition and that the inaugural season is intended to commence as soon as practicable. Moeen Ali and Ravindra Jadeja shared 5 wickets between them to dismantle Rajasthan Royals as Chennai Super Kings registered a 45-run victory at the Wankhede Stadium on Monday. A spirited batting performance by Chennai guided them to a total of 188 for 9 in their allotted 20 overs. In reply, Rajasthan only managed to post 143 for 9 despite getting a decent start. Chasing 189, openers Manan Vohra and Butler provided a 30-run stand for the first wicket before pacer Sam Curran picked the former in the 4th over. Vohra departed after scoring 14 runs. Skipper Sanju Samson failed to leave his mark on the scoreboard and lost his wicket cheaply in the final over of the power play. It was again Curran who took the wicket of Samson and brought Rajasthan under pressure. Put into bat first, CSK got off to a decent start before it was undone by Mustafizur Rahman, who dismissed opening batsman Ruturaj Gaikwad in the 4th over. In the 11th and 12th overs, CSK got a move on as Suresh Raina and Ambati Rayudu clubbed 30 off 12 balls. However, Rajasthan Royals again made a comeback as Chetan Sakaria dismissed both the batsmen in the same over to reduce CSK to 125 for 5. The next few overs saw CSK scoring a sluggish rate and Dhoni tried to free his arm by smashing 2 boundaries but wasn't able to middle the next ball. In the end, Sam Curran and Dwayne Bravo's contribution helped CSK get over the 180-run mark. Those are the local, international and sports stories for today. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time, so keep watching the Midday Update.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.